You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On tonight. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is October 21st, 2025. It's a Tuesday, right? Yep, just rolling along on a Tuesday evening in ufology. We have got a banger of a show. We got a show. Hey. Yes, we are going to explore more Atlas 30, dirty Atlas, 3-eye Atlas, no dirty. Got some close-ups from China. China wants to give us close-ups of Atlas, and we get them. Oh, it's a beaut. It's a beaut. I'm not buying it. I think the whole thing's fake. I know there's an object, but I'm saying the pictures you're going to see, I don't think it's real. No. I don't. Yeah, no, I don't like it. So it seems my opinions about the drama that's happening on X with Lou and the Fist attacking Tupa and Red Panda Koala and others who do not agree with the narrative that Lou Eliganzo says is the narrative. How childish has this become? And then they say that we are the ones attacking them when they're the ones talking about attacking us. They took a clip of what I was talking about last night. And we're not going to talk about it tonight that much at all. Probably. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't think there's anything to talk about. Seeing something. The hell? Haven't seen a little fly. You know those flies? We get them out here in Florida. I haven't seen one. Now all of a sudden I've got 2 flying around. I haven't seen one in 2 days. I got them all, I thought. I don't know what's going on. All right. Oh, I was going to play this. Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay. I still have last night's show up. I didn't even clean it. Oh, we were going to talk about crop circles tonight. Yeah. All right. We'll do crop circles too. I forgot all about it. I just had the video up. I go, I better leave this up so I have it for tomorrow. What a mohawk I am. What? Hold on, I'm cleaning. All right. Yeah. Well, I know you guys don't really care for the drama. I like it. I want it. I dig it. I think these people are crazy. And I want them to know they shouldn't get away with all this. It's sad that people can actually threaten other people. See, that's the thing that bothered me about the Fessler's channel. Like all the things that was being done, he was having other people do it so he wouldn't get in trouble. I'm going to give you a little reminder and then we'll do a little roll call. This was from last night. He's in Spain right now. I've never reported a channel in my life, but I am on this one. Vetted said this. I cannot understand anyone supporting these comments. Character is who you are when no one is looking. Yep. From King Milk Fart Harassment Archive. That's what I always tell my kids that I don't have. Do the right thing even when nobody's looking. That means, like, if you're in your car, don't be an asshole and speed, driving the wrong side of the road. Just be cool, man. Life is difficult if you make it difficult. If you just follow the guidelines, everything's given, rules, everything's out there for you. It's not hard to do the right thing. And this is why I don't like people like the ones we're seeing. They're doing the wrong thing. Just because I, you, me, Tupa, Red Panda, Scambian all have different opinions about Lou Eleganzo, Manny, Area 501, 503. He's the one who did Who's Lou. That's when all this started, right as Who's Lou came out. This says Josh and Sam are both young. We wouldn't want them to die a horrible, excruciating, painful death because of mental. Let's see.
Josh and Sam are still young. They're middle-aged.
They've got a whole life ahead of them.
They do.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want them to die a horrible, excruciating.
They're making death threats. And they think they're funny the way they're trying to disguise it. Boy, I'd hate for him to have a mental breakdown. Right? This is a sick motherfucker.
Really painful death because of mental health issues.
No.
Then we don't want that to happen to anybody.
Mike, because of that or any issue, everyone should be able to get to.
You are evil, and evil never wins over good. Take a look at this guy. It's almost over for him. You'll see. And what I meant by that's not a threat, because I think some people were taking that as a threat in the comments over there. There's only so much you can get away with in life before. Like, I'm going to give you an example of how stupid they are. And this is happening in ufology because it's who they are. And that's why I'm talking about it, even though it's political in a way. But we've had problems with these people for not agreeing with Lou Eleganzo. Why does Lou Elizondo means so much to these people? Why? What did he do for them to make them work this hard against us? Why bring a war on between the community when there is no war? They're creating this, just like the left is creating all the bullshit we see around the country. No kings. No kings protest. First of all, there are no kings. There haven't been, well, ever. That's why we came here, to avoid the kings. And Trump said, I don't want to be a king. If he was a king, they wouldn't be able to protest. How stupid are these people? And they bring that ideology to ufology. That's why I bring it up. Their backwards way of thinking. Rules for me, not for thee, is what they do. They project everything they say we do. We don't. It's them. It's a really amazing thing how the public gloms on to these people and believe every word they say when every word is a lie. It's what we're seeing across the country. They lie, they lie, they lie, and then people start believing it if they keep hearing it. Oh, it must be real. Just like Russia, 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 right? Right? And now they're trying to say, I'm getting too deep. But that's my point. What is the hold? What does Lou have on them that they will bend the knee for Lou and not do the right thing? You guys are living on the wrong side of history. Lou Elizondo and his fan club campaign to get me and Tupa, not me, Red Panda, shut down. They're going to shut him down with false reports, just like they did to me. Well, not him, not somebody
Fessler,
else
but
did it.
He had other people do
Lou
it.
is triggered because members of Congress are listening to us. He doesn't like news stories about Elizondo's connections. You know, and the reason I'm doing this tonight, because I couldn't think of everything last night, but I said that. Look, he doesn't like news stories about Elizondo's connections. Two, they don't like that Congress is listening to what the UFO community is thinking and saying and believing when they don't have to. All they have to do is look at what Lou did / didn't do for ufology. And then he comes out with lies, makes up stories, goes against his own friends. Thought I got that fly. I know, I didn't do roll call. The doxing of Grush, Amy Eskridge, satanic attack dogs, and gang stalking. Who gives a shit what Lou likes? These people have high-level connections at X and already got our friend, a PTSD disabled female veteran, suspended. That's these guys. They're so nice. They go after veterans with PTSD and they try to get them shut down, which adds more stress to their life, which doesn't help the PTSD. That's Lou. That's who Lou is. That's who the Fist is. Both these guys were in the military. We know Lou was. But the Fist, believe it or not, as gay as he is, was sucking dick while he was going through boot camp. Yeah, they called him the bootlicker. Sorry, it was too easy for me. Actually, I think it was the boot sucker, but potato, potato. These people have high-level connections. I already had my channel down for 5 months, Red Panda did. This year, they took him channel down at the beginning of the year. So if me and Tupa get taken down, you know why. Anyway, that's the last thing I'm going to talk about.
This is going to be an interesting ride for everybody to see how it all plays out in the end. And we're on our way.
In other words, it's Dane Dink, you fucked around. Do you want to find out?
Well, now they're going to
Whether
find
they
out.
like it or not, they are going to find out.
See, they're line steppers. It's like, God forbid you just say something, they got to turn it into a physical or deadly act. Just like the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They say he was a fascist, a misogynist. He was married, a monogamy in his life with his wife that he loved and cherished and just brought God and country to schools and the world in his belief, and they silenced him. That's fascism. That's what the left does. Silence people. They step over the line because when they lose the battle, once you start proving who they are, they freak out and want to get violent. We've seen it a million times on the internet. Just ask them, what is a fascist? Oh, you're here to bait me. I'm just asking you. Your sign says Trump's a fascist. How is he a fascist? Honey, you know, I'm done talking to you. I'm not falling for your tricks, right? That's who they are. And they bring it to ufology. That's why I'm talking about it. They're ruining ufology. They're literally making it very hard for whistleblowers and witnesses, experiencers to come forward. I mean, Lou Elizondo is supposed to be somebody that they think they can trust, that's going to help them bring disclosure, their story. Holy mackerel, Mr. Sunshine. Welcome to the show, everybody. Mr. Sunshine, welcome. Thank you for the, I think, what is that, $150 or something? It's a lot. Dude, mucho gusto, generoso. Good Lordicus. Where is it? Let me see. Here it is. Well, thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for the 1,000 DKK. American cash all over Lou's gash. Well, that was a weird one. Thank you very much. Yeah, we did a special one for anything $100 or more. We should do it for 50. 50 or more. 20 or more, you get that. Stupid. Thank you very much. Mr. Sunshine with the DKK. What did I say? DDK? No, I said DKK. That's Danish coin. It's pretty wild stuff. 1,000. I like seeing that 1,000 there, man. That's beautiful to look at. It's rare. It's a rare. So welcome, everybody. Intergalactic Warrior. Wrangler, sorry. Why did I say warrior? Welcome, Zach Diecast Montsu. Oh, wait, what's this? Being prejudiced and being racist is not the same thing. It's safe to say I'm neither. I just don't like anybody. Me too! Because people let you down over and over and over and over. And once you get to a certain age, and I think the age is 50, once you get to 50, you don't put up with that stuff anymore. And you're proud to tell people, hey, I'm this way because of you. Right? Brian Yates, welcome to the show, says, I have zero political affiliation, but now that regular people like myself have been dragged into a fight that isn't ours, we're pissed. Yes, sirree, Robert. Yes, sirree, Brian Yates. Welcome. Good. Zach Diecast. Oh, I already said hi. Hi again. Exactly. They don't even know definition of fascism or know it describes exactly what they're practicing. It's rules for them, not for us. Samoa, Goofonian Rockstar. What's up, Chief? Welcome to. Thanks for the links. Tacy, hail. All hail, Tacy. Welcome to. Glenn Collins, how you doing, everybody? Glenn Collins, how you doing? Nicest guy on the chat. David Wilcox, not Wilcox. What do you say? It's about that clock. Juge Yanje, the angel of Goofon. J.A. in the house. All right, if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I've got some show to do. So let's get going. All right. Yeah, I'm weird. I know. You know what? Let me try to do a normal show. Let's try doing normalcy. Ready? All right, let's go. I'm going to finish, and we're done with that. I told you we're going to get back to life as we know it in ufology. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a taste of what I said yesterday because I wanted to say I wasn't making a death threat. I was just saying eventually it's going to catch up with you. It always does. Always. Always. Coca-Cola. Damn freaking one fly now. I got one. Here it is. Hold on. I got it. Say a prayer. He was a good fight. Oh. Sorry. Did I fix it? All right. All right. Yeah. Is that it? No more flies? Power off. What's up, Dorothy? Hi, Dorothy. Welcome to the show. All right. Okay. So, there's this thing going around. And I don't know. Wait. Hey, I got the other one. I thought I got him. Here it is. Hold on. All right. Now we can do a show without the kids flying around. Wait. And where'd that one come from? They all look alike. Oh! Oh! Flies, kids. Flies. Not guys. There's a thing called Eleganzo derangement syndrome. See, they can't come up with anything original. Like Trump derangement syndrome. So now there's this thing called Eleganzo derangement syndrome. Isn't that nice? Do I have that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't talk about Lou every day. I talk about Lou when it's relevant. Just like, is Area 51 still relevant? The UFOs and aliens? Or did that switch somewhere and they moved everything to Lockheed? I don't know, but we'll talk about that a little later after the crop circles. That's right. You can hear the music chiming. All right, can I get up top? Put me up top or in there. There we go. Here it is from Ivan Hanel, Esquire. Eleganzo derangement syndrome is real. Signs include spending all their time in spaces, not me, claiming special status, targeted or victim, but oddly not incel. Incel? Going by their furry names on X and tagging people they don't know to solicit attention from smarter and more handsome people. It's a real disease, mildly contagious, particularly when entering spaces where the viral load is high. Differential diagnosis include paranoia and grandiose delusions. Highly correlated risk factor of underemployment. Masking does not reduce transmission. Almost funny. I'm all for it, but this guy needs a little help with the humor in there. All right. So, really, it's this. Can I just point this out? Can we all just tell Lou to just shave it all off? Look at the top of this guy's head. You can see through it, guys. Come on, dude. You're old. Get over it. Do you have EDS? I do. But not that EDS. That's not funny. Oh, Rich. I want to show you things. I want to show you. Maybe we'll just go right into it. All right, let me show you this and get rid of that. All right, here's a post from Mick West. I'm going to work in reverse tonight. He has a post here that says Americans for Safe Aerospace have released their first batch of UFO reports. He puts UAP, I say UFO. Only one of them comes with video, and that looks like a flickering star and a transit of the ISS. Hold on, he uploaded this twice. You can't see that, so let me grab the other one that he posted. Here it is. He says, the zoomed in flickering UFO looks like a star. You mother's monkey. He says the longer video looks like a transit of the ISS. Of course, they could be something else. That's just what they initially looked like, he says. So let's pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it up, I meant. You know what I'm thinking? I gotta get this fly. There's one left. All right. Let me pull up the what NASA released. Here we go. So Americans for Safe Aerospace. So it says 3 Minneapolis police officers reported observing a spherical UFO made of 6 interlocking rings of colored lights hovering, I know it's hovering, at 10,000 feet. The object moved with both slow and hypersonic acceleration before rapidly relocating north. Oh, here it is. Here are 3 seconds of video. Wow. I mean, the flickering is cool. That's not normal, but that looks like a star. What time was this? Oh, that's what Nick was Mick, I meant. What is the timestamp of this? We don't have it. Hold on. I think that's what he was asking. Exact time, date, location, and direction would be useful to rule things out. Right, because I believe this is Sirius, the star. It's low enough. It's probably 3 in the morning. Oh, but it's October 20th. I'm not sure. It's interesting, though, but not enough data to make, an assessment either way. To make a assessment. My ankle's killing me, guys. You have no idea the ankle. This is unbelievable, the pain I'm feeling. All right. Here it is. So, do you remember a guy who, do you remember? I think he opened up a cabinet in his kitchen to a portal with 2 suns that had it had 2 suns in there. He said, this is somebody has it here. This is one of the last videos that guy published on his YouTube channel shortly after he disappeared. They always disappear, these guys with these incredible videos, right? Oh, wow, this is 3 minutes and change. Let's take a look. So this is the guy who opened up the portal. What's the design on my hat? That's the horns. Hunting horns. See? It's not a leather hat. I know. This is a very comfortable hat. I just bought it because I liked it. I don't have any hats this color. It's the only one that's kind of like this. Okay. Let me show you this. Thanks, Dorothy. I didn't know. I'm working here. Yeah, deer antlers. Thank you. Hey, Chicken Coop, how are you? I thought I missed somebody when I said hello. Good to see you, man. Yes, I have a very, very bad habit of not... For 5 years, I've been trying, everybody, to read the chat and do the room at the same... Then do the show at the... If you ever watched other shows where they talk to the chat, that's all they do is talk to the chat. You can't do both. I can't anyway. I do a fast-paced, in-your-face kind of show. I got to keep moving. All right, here we go. Sorry, he'll listen. Thanks, Dorothy. Thank you, everybody. Go. This is the guy who found the portals. and then disappeared recently. Last video we ever made. This reminds me of that other guy who created the time machine. What was his name? Madman Marco?
There she is.
Oh, she's so pretty. Isn't that from Mars? That's the Mars mission lady.
This is no big deal to you. But to me, this is like...
This is so fun. You know the Cousins brothers made a video
Light can't
just
really
like
get
this.
through. There's no... You're not going to feel anything. You're not going to smell anything until the surface is literally breached. The locale on that side will equalize with the locale on this side, and then you're good to go. You can kind of see a glow happening, but again, you're not going to get anything more than that until you touch it. And once you do touch it and the surface is breached, this portal becomes self-sustained for like 2 hours.
Are you going to go through it?
What? No, all of a sudden, no. Ooh, where's that noise? All of a sudden, it just stopped? Ooh, what happened to the noise, fakers? You know, I hate it. There's no reason to go drama slow like this. Wow, he's in another world, guys. Isn't that amazing? Looks just like Earth. Hold on, is there two? Oh, there's one. Similar. Wait, I think I see footprints. Nope. No footprints. Look back. Turn around.
Taking samples of this water. It's unbelievable.
Not really. Look, they have birds just like we do here on Earth.
Warm. Fresh here.
Yeah, well, what was that, an airplane in the background? Did I just see an airplane?
It's almost
like top right. Hold on, it's
untainted.
coming. Should be right around here. Oh, he
You can't
edited
see it
He
because the
saw
clouds are covering it, but there are two suns.
No.
Right off there.
No, I don't
One,
see that.
and there's a lesser sun, like right there.
Oh, a lesser sun. Oh, what? Not as successful as the other sun? Is that what he's saying?
I think it's still Earth. It's just it's Earth at a different time. Maybe.
Oh yeah. When we had 10 suns. Oh, there it is. There's the lesser one. It's the runt of the litter. Got it. What a dumb video.
Two suns. Crazy.
It's not two suns, you schmohawk. You don't even have a portal, you freak. I hate videos like that. That was the word. No wonder why the guy's gone. I'd be gone too if I was that guy. It was awful, terrible, not even convincing a little bit. I'm sorry I put you guys through that. That was the 3 minutes we'll never get back. Never. Makes me angry. God dang it, it makes me angry. You know what? Do you know what people are doing? The elites, anyway, for that matter. They're building doomsday bunkers. We've talked about this before. And they expect something to happen. The dates like 2030 and 2040. I think this is Dr. Casey, John Casey, former space program consultant, national space policy advisor to the White House and Congress. Oh, it's true. I got him right here. I'm going to play the video. It's not a fake name. Why would you say that? Ah, meatballs! Where's Ben, the Yorkshire Griffonian? Whatever happened to Ben?
Now we're back to the questions about, okay, what do we do now? How do we prepare for this new cold era? And thank you for asking all those questions. Prepare for record cold, food shortages, rationing, civil unrest, international conflict. All we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go back and look at history. That's all we have to do to understand what's going to happen in the future.
That's all.
The skull era has begun. All we have to do is go back and look at what happened before. What did happen before? We lost crops on a global scale. People starved and froze to death on a global scale. And that was when they were more resilient, more reliable. We now have almost 50 million people on food stamps, totally dependent on the government for food.
75.
What's going to happen with those 50 million people when we run out of food?
They're going to lose weight.
What's going to happen with everyone in this room when you go to the Publix and there's no bread on the shelves? Because it was either looted the night before or bought out the night before. What happens in these events? One of the first things that happens when everyone recognizes the crops just got wiped out by a cold front in the spring or before harvest, what happens?
You got to get toilet paper.
Panic.
Yep.
Panic.
At the disco.
Panic will come because the President of the United States is telling us we only have global warming. We don't need to be worried or prepare for global cooling. Therefore, everyone will be totally unprepared unless you hear and believe and convey this message to your friends and family, which I recommend you do strongly. Panic will be the first step.
Have the mainstream media and government informed you of any of this? Does arguing with others over politics, religion, race, sexuality, or even the shape of the earth prepare you for this?
Nope. Sure doesn't. All right. I got to show you this. This is amazing. This is the Chinese photograph, detailed photograph of 3-Eye Atlas. And they say, this looks like a big cruise ship. You see what Avi Loeb did? Do you see? If Avi Loeb never mentioned that this could be an alien mothership of some sort, we would be talking about the strange gases, the way it looks. We would not be thinking alien spaceships at all. Promise you. Because we've never done it with anything else. Like Oumuamua. Nobody but him. And everybody, right? Everybody just talked about it, but it doesn't mean it was the truth. This looks fake to me. 100% fake to me. Looks like I'm looking through a 1967 Star Trek episode or Planet of the Apes. That looks fake. That can't be real. I don't buy it. That's not it. That can't be. David Wilcox, anybody out there? Do you guys think that's legit? Dorothy, anybody? Does this look real? Now, China put this out, I thought. I'll take a look at the end. Oh, they keep showing it over and over. Yeah. So, I'm not buying that. To me, that looks pure fodder. Is that real? No. Yeah, right. Thank you. Not real, not real. And it doesn't say this is a representation of what they see. They say that's it. That is by, hold on. Japanese, you were right. Yeah, Japan. Terrible. Do you see why I'm so negative on a lot of things? I mean, just from today, just from the 5 minutes I've been showing you a few, talking a few, and looking at a few. Look at this. This is from the James Webb. Just detected something. Get this, guys. You want to pump it up? You want to get this out to the world? You tell everybody something's alive inside of 3-Eye Atlas. if I almost spit my entire teeth out. This is crazy talk. James Webb Telescope may have captured something living inside 3I. Yeah, what? The aliens looking out the window. I think they got a telescope on us. I thought I saw a reflection. I don't know. The aliens.
Cataloged 3I Atlas in July 2025, the world barely noticed. After all, it was just another interstellar traveler, another piece of cosmic debris wandering through the vast emptiness between stars. The third object of its kind ever seen, sure. But still, by all appearances, nothing more than a silent visitor passing through the solar system on a one-way trip. But then the James Webb Space Telescope, arguably the most powerful eye humanity has ever opened to the cosmos, locked onto it. And what it saw changed everything. This wasn't just an icy rock being warmed by the sun. Deep within 3I Atlas, something was glowing. Not randomly, not chaotically, but rhythmically, like a pulse, like a heartbeat. And as the days went by, what started as a strange curiosity began evolving into something far more disturbing. Brightness levels soared beyond prediction. The object began emitting thermal energy from within, not from its sunlit surface. Then came the signals, radio pulses repeating with inhuman precision. And finally, the course change. The object veered, intentionally.
What?
This wasn't a rock on a passive path. This was an object behaving with intent, and possibly with awareness. Something is inside 3I Atlas, and the James Webb Telescope may have just confirmed that it's alive. At first, it was just a statistical outlier.
Oh my God, that is embarrassing. How can you tell something is alive from a billion miles away and a fuzzy...
A bright dot...
You got bricks, on a fuzzy video / picture / still frame / bold.
Not among many in the Webb Telescope's infrared feed. But as the team reviewed the data from the NIRSPEC instrument, one anomaly refused to be dismissed. 3I Atlas didn't behave like any other object in space. Typical interstellar visitors dim and brighten irregularly as they spin, eject material, or reflect sunlight unevenly from icy surfaces. But 3I Atlas showed no such variability. Instead, its brightness remained eerily constant. Even more alarming, the object emitted a centered, focused glow from its core, like a miniature furnace pulsing at exact intervals. Every 4 hours, the heat surged and faded in a perfectly timed cycle, like a biological rhythm. The pattern was too precise to be geological. It didn't correspond to rotation, solar wind, or any known natural process. It came from deep inside, completely unaffected by the changing angle of sunlight or the object's distance from the sun. Scientists called it a thermal anomaly, but off the record, some began whispering another word: heartbeat. The pulse was slow, deliberate, and mechanical, resonating not like a star's radiation, but like an engine breathing in deep space. Something inside this object was generating internal energy, independent of external forces. And for those studying the patterns, one terrifying question began to emerge. What kind of object powers itself?
That was awful. 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 Yeah, talks amongst yourselves with that one. I got nothing. You know what I think. All right, let's look at crop circles, shall we? Now, this video here. It's gonna, well, let me do this first. Let's get you pumped up. Can we do that? Can we get you pumped a little bit? Thank you. Just a little bit. A little bit. Take it away. Come on, everybody.
What are they? Why are they? What do they mean?
Again.
What are they? Why are they? What do they mean?
Come on, everybody. What are they?
Are they harbingers of world change? These secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change? These secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change?
let's play the video, shall we? This is incredible. This video we're about to watch is from the Explorer. I'll put the link to the video in the show description immediately following the show's live version. And we're going to watch it. It's 25 minutes, but we're going to watch a few here and there because I've watched it. I know where the good parts are. And we're going to watch I don't know if this is an HBO thing or what. It's the guy, HBO. I think History Channel.
Symmetrical design is a phenomenon known as a crop circle.
Yeah, that's
and
the guy.
It is just one of many strange patterns.
In 2025, something changed. For the first time, artificial intelligence was turned loose on decades of crop circle footage, and the results were unsettling. Patterns dismissed as hoaxes suddenly revealed impossible mathematical precision, fractals and alignments so exact they connect modern formations to ones carved into English fields over 20 years ago.
Crazy.
What AI uncovered points to intelligence, but not the kind we've been told to expect.
Crop circles are basically features, designs, illustrations of high complexity in crops.
And that's what makes this mystery more disturbing than tales of pranksters or little green men. But before we dive into what AI discovered, we need to understand how this all began. Why was the government watching from day one? The phenomenon emerges. If you trace the story of crop circles back far enough, you don't land in the 20th century. You land in 1678 with a woodcut called the Mowing Devil. It showed a horned figure carving a shape into a farmer's field after the farmer refused to pay fair wages. Historians dismiss it as folklore, but the idea stuck. Even then, people imagined that something not human could leave messages on the earth. Fast forward to the late 20th century. English fields began glowing with strange patterns, often appearing overnight. At first, they were small, playful circles, but within a decade, they escalated. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, formations stretched hundreds of feet, sprawling designs with mathematical precision, more like engineering blueprints than vandalism. Then came 1991. Two men, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, stepped forward.
Assholes.
They admitted sneaking into fields at night with planks and rope, stamping out circles as a prank.
They went all around the world and did it overnight. Idiots. It's so stupid.
Experts are tonight divided over claims.
And the public bought it. And they're like, oh, well, that explains it. No.
By two men from Hampshire that they're responsible for the South's famous crop circles. Dave Chorley and Doug Bauer.
Newspapers loved it. Skeptics said, case closed, mystery solved. But here's the problem. Doug and Dave's method explained only the small, rough circles of the late 70s and early 80s. By the 90s, the designs had grown too complex. Fractals, straight lines spanning football fields, and astronomical alignments, all drawn in total darkness with no errors. Even skeptics admitted the confession didn't explain it all. And the timing? Doug and Dave confessed just as governments were ramping up surveillance of crop circles under something called Operation Blackbird. That was no coincidence. It was a strategy. Think about it. If you want to kill a mystery, you don't just deny it. You hand people a funny human explanation.
That's right, Dorothy.
Doug and Dave weren't real debunkers. They were decoys.
Let's, Dorothy, you know, that's interesting, says, we left messages on the ground in Nazca, Peru. You know the Nazca lines, everybody. To be seen from the sky, agreed. Why not the other way around? When you say the other way around, do you mean underground? To be seen underground? No. We did it. But what's doing this? This is not, when you see the scientific proof that this is not man-made, this is something, man, I don't know, biological. or environmental, but to do it in crops, it's weird.
Because while the press ran with the hoax
I don't have an
story,
answer,
scientists
Dorothy. Yeah,
were
that's a
finding
good
evidence
question.
that couldn't be laughed off. The BLT research team, Burke, Levengood, and Talbot, studied plants and soils inside circles. What they found is still some of the most unsettling evidence today. Inside real formations, plant stems weren't broken by force. They were elongated and bent at 90 degrees, as if softened from within.
They were elongated, softened, and bent at what, 91 degrees?
90 degrees, as if softened from within.
Wow.
Microscopic analysis showed nodes blown open, like the plants had been flash-boiled. Some soils contained magnetic particles fused into tiny spheres, proof of intense energy. These effects can be recreated with microwaves in a lab, but not in the middle of a field overnight, with no equipment, no scorch marks, and no footprints. This wasn't just art. It was physics. Picture this. On one side, a sloppy circle stamped out with rope. On the other hand, the Mandelbrot set, a perfect fractal hundreds of feet wide, appeared in 1991. One is graffiti, the other is geometry etched into the earth. And yet, the mainstream story stuck. Hoaxers made them all.
Jesus, look at that.
End of discussion. But the evidence didn't vanish. Elongated stems, fused soils, magnetic dust. You can't fake molecular change. You can't hoax electromagnetic readings spread across acres. So, the question isn't whether some crop circles were hoaxes. Of course they were. People copy mysteries all the time. The real question is, what about the others? The 90% Doug and Dave couldn't explain? The ones that bent plants at the cellular level? That tripped instruments? That appeared without tracks in or out? And this is where Operation Blackbird returns. Officially, it was meant to catch pranksters in the act. High-tech cameras, military observation posts, everything aimed at the fields. But reports suggest it didn't just watch, it interfered.
Hey, there's a comment. That's a good comment from Chicken Coop Confidential, also known as 3C. That sounds like microwaves, and it is. They think there's something to do with the microwave energy that emanates from the center of each circle and goes outward. And they noticed through science and measuring everything that the levels of intensity of that microwave heat blast disintegrates the further out to the edge of the circle it goes. So the nodes, even though they were exploding on the inside, towards the outer edges of the crop circles, they barely even, got bigger. They inflated or from the heat, whatever. Because, the moisture builds up, and that's why the nodes would explode. It was too much pressure. The nodes, they're like knuckles on a finger. Good stuff, guys. Thanks.
Some formations under surveillance looked staged. Others vanished from official records, which raises an unsettling possibility. Was the government only observing or also creating? Because if Doug and Dave were the cover story and BLT uncovered real anomalies, then who made the formations that broke the rules of biology and physics? And what if the very government operation meant to investigate crop circles was actually seeding them into the story? Not just watching, but orchestrating. And if that's true, what exactly were they trying to hide? The intelligence connection. By the summer of 1990, crop circles had grown from a rural oddity into a global mystery. And that's when Operation Blackbird launched. From July 23rd to August 12th, the Ministry of Defense allowed a team of researchers led by Colin Andrews and Pat Delgado, to run round-the-clock surveillance in Wiltshire.
Colin Andrews was basically threatened and disappeared just years later, which is why we never saw him again. Sad. He's the godfather of crop circles. Guess who's the godmother? I think, and I'm not 100%, but I thought Linda Moulton Howdy Doody Fresh and Fruity was part of the crop circle investigations when they were not brand new. She came in as an investigative journalist a few years later and was enthralled by it. She was doing cattle mutilations and then gets, messages and letters about, oh my God, these crop circles in England. Back then we didn't have the internet. So, things came a little later than they should. And, compared to now, everything's instant.
This wasn't just a few cameras.
Right. So Colin Andrews is there. He's going to document everything. He's going to be the guy who learns and teaches and does everything with crops circles. I'm excited.
Blackbird had military hardware, night vision, infrared, radar, all pointed at the fields beneath Silbury Hill, one of the oldest man-made mounds in Europe. The official mission: catch the hoaxers. But here's where things take a strange turn. Because in those 3 weeks, the cameras didn't catch pranksters with planks. They filmed orbs, small glowing balls darting and weaving across the fields before formations appeared. And almost immediately, that footage was sealed away. The public was told the operation was a bust. Nothing to see here. So let's pause. If Blackbird was only about exposing pranksters, why bring classified surveillance tech? And why did the most extraordinary footage, the orbs near Silbury Hill, vanish into vaults? Colin Andrews later admitted that Blackbird wasn't entirely his project. Behind the scenes, the Army had layered its own objectives on top. That meant—
Oh my God! The Army? I didn't know all this. Really, I didn't. I didn't think they were this involved.
And 2 operations ran at once. The public version, with civilian researchers giving the appearance of transparency, and a shadow version, run by intelligence services.
Did you hear that? The appearance of transparency.
Testing how people would react when certain formations appeared.
Look at that.
And that opens the door to something bigger. Years later, a documentary called Mirage Men pulled the curtain back on how intelligence manipulates UFO and crop circle culture. In it, former Air Force Office of Special Investigations agent Richard Doty admitted to feeding false information to UFO researchers in the 1980s. His role wasn't just surveillance, it was disinformation, planting stories, staging evidence, and
nice
even
guy, right?
convincing
Doesn't that sound like somebody else we know?
Ordinary people they'd been contacted by aliens. Why? To confuse, distract, and sometimes cover up classified technology being tested in the skies. That's the pattern. Whenever mysteries threatened to get too close to something real, intelligence didn't just deny them. They seeded so many conflicting stories that nobody could tell fact from fiction. Operation Blackbird fits perfectly into that playbook. The public saw a failed mission. Insiders saw orbs and missing data. Meanwhile, sophisticated formations began appearing beside RAF bases in Wiltshire. Coincidence? Or strategic placement? It gets stranger. Around the same time, an art collective called the Circle Makers, led by John Lundberg, began claiming credit for elaborate designs. At first glance, it looked like harmless performance art, but later, whispers linked some members to MI5. Think about that. Intelligence agencies are backing artists in the very regions where real anomalies appeared. That's not art, it's narrative control. So when you connect the dots, Blackbird stops looking like a failed stakeout and starts looking like a dual operation. On one level, researchers like Andrews and Delgado were sincere, hoping to document unexplained phenomena. On the other hand, the Army and intelligence agencies used the setup to insert staged circles, muddy the waters, and test how the public and media responded. Maybe that was the goal all along. Not solving the mystery, but controlling it, making it impossible to tell the difference between real anomalies and fake ones, until nobody could tell the difference. Because confusion itself is a weapon.
God, I hate that. That bothers me, right? What's up, Retro Genuil? I don't know if I'm saying your name right. All right, here's some interesting... Did they talk about the lines that AI found that were markers of some sort that we can't see with the naked eye? But AI picked up these very faint lines. You know, I don't know. Maybe they're going to talk about it now.
And in the age of crop circles, intelligence wielded it with precision. So, here's the uncomfortable question. If governments planted designs in fields, filmed orbs, then locked away the tapes and funded artists to blur truth with fiction, what does that say about the parts of the mystery that remain unexplained? Were those the ones even they couldn't control?
Yes!
And that's where we turn next. Because while intelligence played games in the shadows, scientists studied the crops themselves. And what they found at the cellular level was something no plank, no prank, and
crazy.
No staged art project could ever fake. So if intelligence could fake the shapes, could they fake the science? Or did the plants themselves reveal something even Operation Blackbird couldn't cover up? The impossible evidence. What Operation Blackbird tried to bury, science quietly uncovered. And it starts with a man named Dr. William Levengood. Levengood wasn't a fringe enthusiast. He was a biophysicist who published in peer-reviewed journals. In the mid-1990s, he did what governments wouldn't. He tested the crops.
Here we go.
Between 1994 and 1999, Levengood examined plants from more than 350 formations across 8 countries. That's not a handful of samples. That's a global data set. And the results? Impossible. Inside genuine formations, plants looked normal on the outside, but under a microscope, they were transformed. Their nodes, the joints along stems, were elongated, stretched as if softened from within. Many had expulsion cavities, tiny blowholes where internal moisture boiled and burst through the walls. To cause that kind of expansion instantly, you'd need heat around 1,500 degrees Celsius, hotter than molten lava, hotter than any prankster could generate overnight with planks and string. Levengood's team also found microscopic iron spherules fused into the soil.
Wow.
Imagine grains of sand coated with metallic beads no wider than a hair. These only form if the soil is briefly exposed to plasma-level temperatures. Yet, there were no burn marks, no scorch trails, and no sign of heavy machinery. Just standing crops bent into perfect designs, hiding molecular scars that pointed to the hand of physics itself. The seeds told another story. In the lab, many sprouted faster, with thicker...
That's what Dorothy said.
...roots and longer shoots than control samples, sometimes by 30 to 40%.
Wow.
A prank that boosts biology? That's not vandalism.
So the soil becomes hardier. It's almost as if the crop circles are replenishing the soil for more food to feed us. Could it be that simple? Could it be the insignia of the company that provides the fresh dirt? It's an alien company, just like Ford has their little symbol. It says Ford with the little loopity-doo, right? BMW has the blue and the white and black. Well, this is their version. Hey, if you guys could read this, we're the ones that kept this crop growing over centuries. Did you realize we made your soil 30 to 40% fresher? It's like new. It's like dinosaur soil. Yeah. Go figure. You're welcome. We're going to go back underground invisible. We're going to make some more soil circles for you guys so you could condescend us from above. Thank you. Have a good day. Alien out.
That's controlled energy altering life itself. Levengood wasn't alone. Nancy Talbot, co-founder of the BLT research team, documented these anomalies.
The bacon, lettuce, and tomato. I knew it. It's all about sandwiches.
Decades. England, the Netherlands, Canada, the US. The same effects kept repeating. Elongated nodes, blowholes, iron spherules, and enhanced growth. Too consistent to be a coincidence. Too complex for human trickery. And then came confirmation. Dutch physicist Dr. Eltjo Hasselhoff ran independent tests. His conclusion? Node elongation followed a precise gradient, as if plants had been blasted by a radiation point source hovering above the field. In other words, a directed energy beam.
And it is suggested that this increase in length is a result of heat. The nodes get warm, they expand, it's a thermal expansion, and they remain long afterwards.
His work, like Levengood's, was peer-reviewed. Not speculation. Science. There's more. Many circles coincided with sudden temperature drops and electromagnetic surges. Cameras failed. Batteries drained. Visitors felt dizzy or euphoric. We're not just talking about art in fields. We're talking about localized energy fields that disrupt both machines and people. So, let's pull this together. Hundreds of formations, microscopic anomalies, plasma heat, enhanced seeds, and electromagnetic spikes, all pointing to one thing. Crop circles are not just art. They're physical events leaving evidence no hoax could fake.
What do they say? What do they mean? What do they want? What do they need? What do they do? Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. 1998.
If the science is this strong, then why was it ignored? This takes us to 2025,
All right.
when AI analyzed decades of data. What message did it uncover? The AI revelation. By 2025,
check it out.
The mystery of crop circles had already been weighed, measured, and dismissed 100 times by skeptics. But that year, something different happened.
This year,
quantum-trained artificial intelligence was given the entire archive. Thousands of documented formations spanning decades. Not just photos, but aerial footage, plant samples, and construction overlays. The machine wasn't told what to look for. It simply searched for patterns across time. What it found surprised even the scientists who had stopped believing long ago. The AI found connections that no human could have seen. Take the Bavarian Formation of 2025. At first, it seemed like something new. Just another beautiful geometric pattern cut into the fields. But when the AI compared its structure to the archives, it found something that no human researcher had ever seen. This 2025 circle wasn't original. It was a fusion. Two separate designs that had appeared 20 years earlier in England, in 2005, were combined seamlessly into one.
Wow.
The alignments weren't approximate.
How's that possible?
They were mathematically precise, down to the millimeter. That kind of planning would require a human team not only to perfectly preserve designs from decades earlier, but also to forecast their recombination in the future. Imagine that. A group of hoaxers in 2005 made circles so exact that, 20 years later, they could be woven into a Bavarian field with flawless symmetry. That isn't just unlikely, it's impossible.
Right.
And the AI didn't stop there. It detected something.
So what does that mean? This is what I don't like. So it means one thing I know for sure. These are hoaxes. And somehow they're generating microwavable heat that explodes nodes and slants the crops at a certain angle, and all of them do it. no, 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 no.
Our eyes couldn't. Construction lines hidden within the
Look at this.
geometry. Faint alignments only visible when the machine enhanced the images. Lines invisible to the naked eye, but critical to the layout.
What?
It was like peeling back the skin of a painting and seeing the artist's first...
Guys, look at that. How could that be faked? We don't see any mistakes. There's no crop circles up the road that are half finished because they made a mistake. These are precision made 100-yard football field size crop circles.
Strokes. The skeleton
Oh my
beneath
God.
the masterpiece. No plank, no rope, no team of pranksters working in the dark could ever leave invisible guiding marks that show up only under machine pattern recognition.
And we don't see mistakes.
Then came the most chilling discovery. The plants in the Bavarian Formation weren't bent at random angles.
Oh.
They were folded at exactly 51 degrees. Every stalk is uniform, as if guided by a force working at the molecular level. The AI confirmed the angle across thousands of samples, with a variance so tight it ruled out human error.
Can't fake it. You can't fake that. You can't. You just can't. Unless the data's corrupt. Unless the story's corrupt, and I don't think it is.
This wasn't vandalism in a wheat field. This was engineering. And when the AI broadened its research
It's absolutely
to include
amazing.
the entire data set, it discovered something even stranger. Recurring mathematical patterns.
Well, I don't think it's humans. But humans would have the knowledge to do that 20 years later, is what I meant to say. So if humans had knowledge, they could have maybe created the design or, whatever, 20 years later. However, they couldn't have done, because nobody knows how they would have done it, all of the other stuff that's, you don't see it. You have to get up close. It's not something you see from the sky. Pretty amazing stuff if you really think about how complex. 51 degrees, they were all bent in a certain angle. All of them, pretty much, right? That's what they said. Uniform. This is crazy.
For years. Ratios in Wiltshire circles from 1990 emerged in Dutch forms in 2010, then appeared again in the Bavarian pattern of 2025. These were not just coincidences. They were sequences, like notes in a song playing across time. A 20-year rhythm hiding in plain sight. Think about what that means. Either pranksters across continents, separated by decades, somehow coordinated their work with impossible
That's what
precision.
I just said.
Or we're looking at a long-term design written by something far beyond the reach of weekend hoaxers. And here's where it gets truly unsettling. The AI suggested that these ratios weren't just pretty math. They carried information, encoded relationships, repeating at intervals, point to a coordinated effort across time. It wasn't one-off formations. It was a sequence, a message unfolding slowly, across decades, like someone leaving breadcrumbs through history for us to follow.
Yeah.
Only once our machines were advanced enough to recognize them. Now picture this on screen. The 2025 Bavarian design dissolving into two separate 2005 English circles, perfectly overlapping. The alignments glowing as AI draws the invisible construction lines we were never meant to see. Then, the 51-degree stalk angles were revealed in lab footage, overlaying the machine's data points. It feels less like art and more like architecture, a blueprint. So, here's the question. If the AI could see decades-long planning that no human ever noticed, what does that mean about who or what made these designs?
Yeah.
Were they left for us to find only when our technology was ready? Because the AI's...
Did you hear what he just said? Were they left here to find until our technology can decode the design? That's not true at all. Oh, wait, maybe it is. So, well, what I was going to think out loud was, well, why do they keep putting the crop circles out if we don't have the technology? Well, if you're aliens or if you're something, an intelligent being, you don't know all that stuff. What you do, you keep making the circles. You keep making the designs until you get the answer. Until somebody knocks on the door and says, we know what you're saying. Stop. That's what it's about. It's just like that movie when they went to Mars. And I think they had to have the right blood to get it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But
revelations point to one terrifying conclusion. This isn't random. It's coordinated.
Right.
And if that's true, then the next question matters more than any we've asked so far. What's the purpose behind this decades-long operation? Why has someone, or something, been leaving us a message written in the language of crops for over 40 years? The intelligence inception twist. The AI revelation gave us one truth, that crop circles were too precise, too coordinated, and too impossibly engineered to be explained away as midnight pranks. But here's the twist most people never saw coming. Crop circles weren't just about geometry and fields, they were a training ground, a beta test. And the subject wasn't physics or aliens. It was us. Because when intelligence agencies realized they couldn't stop the phenomenon, they did something far more effective. They studied the reaction. Imagine this. Mysterious symbols show up overnight in English wheat. And suddenly, you've got believers on one side, convinced of otherworldly contact, and skeptics on the other, dismissing it as teenage vandalism. That divide wasn't an accident. It was engineered. Psychological warfare works by planting uncertainty. Give the public just enough evidence to wonder, but never enough to conclude. Crop circles were perfect for that. They let agencies test how populations respond to mystery. Feed one group dazzling aerial photos. Slip another group stories of two old men with planks. Then sit back and watch society fracture
right.
into camps. The believer versus skeptic war became the experiment. And the...
All right, we get it. So what do you think? Put a 1 in the chat room if you believe crop circles are a mysterious earth entity of some sort, still unexplained, not man-made. Isn't that weird? There's so many crop circles that you know they're not all fake. Now listen to this. There are so many UFOs seen every day. Not all of them can be fake. Now you understand. The truth is out there. And it's hard. Very hard. Because they make it hard to understand what it is we're looking at. To understand what it is that's flying around with impunity over your house. And possibly coming into your bedroom or one of your loved ones and stealing their souls. What are they doing? Why would they do that last night? Okay. I'm going to talk about something very strange. Has nothing to do with crop circles. Well, everybody believes. Wow, look at that. Yep. Thank you for that. Lots of ones. Hey, Beza. Christopher V. Francella Allen. Nice to see you. Yeah, 50-50 is a good way to think, too. It's hard to tell. I don't think they're all fake. There are very strange things that are emanating on this planet that come right up to our homes. I was talking to Dark Hour Paranormal last night. For 2 hours we talked. Or was it the night before? I don't know. It was one night recently. And Or was it during the day? Well, anyway, we were talking. Oh, yeah, he was on his way home. And talking about whether we're living in a matrix reality came up. Because I've seen things that are weird. He's seen things that don't make sense. Like, I'll give you a for instance. I saw, and I talked about this before, and I don't understand what it means. Maybe it's a military thing, but you guys know what an overhead projector is, right? You slide in the clear piece of plastic with writing on it. The mirror pushes it up to the screen, and we had them in high school. Looks like ET, I saw grids, like longitude and latitude lines being put into the sky. It looked like it was slid in, came in from right to left, just a little. I called my wife right when I saw it. She was like 5 feet away. I go, you got to see this. Come here. Hurry, 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 hurry. She looks up. I go, what do you see? Tell me quick. She goes, I see lines, like longitude, latitude. Yeah. And I go, thank God you saw it, because it disappeared. I had the camera in my hand. I started turning it on as soon as I called her. But 20 something years ago, cameras took a minute to turn on. It's gone. It was already gone. And I can't explain why that was in the sky. Now, I do have incredible videos. We could dismiss them if you want to. But I have seen other things that I couldn't record. Like, I don't know if it was an F-18. It was one of those F planes. Very low, like 200 feet above the ground, soaring hundreds of miles an hour. This was at night. It was 9 at night. I just got back from the gym, and I was walking the dog in the backyard. I never told this story before. And I hear the loud jet coming my way. Now, when this happened, I lived way out in the boondocks. I lived where there were, brand new complex. I was the only house there. It doesn't matter, but it does. But anyway, there was nothing to impede what I was seeing. I step outside. I see one F-16 go by very fast. Whoa! And I hear the other one coming. But what I saw was a red light in front of it. As it's passing me, there's a disc-shaped UFO, a red beam was coming out of it, and it went into the F-16 or whatever it was, and it looked like they were connected in a such a way that I saw the UFO go right back this way and then go back out, and the red line, the laser, stayed the same the whole time as it's flying. Couldn't get it on video, of course, but so weird. So I've seen weird things, that I can never ever record or. And then we started talking about different realms. Like, I told him a story. Like, there might be a miracle happening to me. My health has turned around in such a way, it was as if a miracle has happened to me. After 5 years of going through something, it completely stops, and all of a sudden I feel great. It's weird. I looked into the mirror, and I said to myself, my eyes look different, like wider than normal. Wide, like more open than normal. And then I thought of the experience I had in my bedroom in 2006. When I woke up, so I thought, and on this ear, I feel somebody say, I'll be in your head before you wake up. But I went, I'll be in your head before you wake up. And I felt the whisper of that voice on my ear. Scared me so much, I woke up, told the wife. And when I was explaining what happened to me, I did the voice for her. And I go, and then it says, I'll be in your head. And as I'm doing it, I told her, I go, wait, that's me. I'll be in your head before you wake up. What does that mean? 3 nights earlier, I had the experience with the blue beam in my ear. It woke me up from the pain. When I opened up my eyes on the headboard, I saw the blue, and I turned around to see where it was coming from, and I followed this beam right into the hand of an alien. Now look behind me. What do you see? Pretty weird, huh? It's an alien with a laser pistol in his left hand, just like I dreamed. But I don't think I dreamed it. That wasn't in the room at the time. That was in a closet. Yeah, I don't know how the brain works, but it somehow put that alien in my dream and made it real. And then 3 days later, and across the street from our house, there were 3 little circles. I still have the video of it and the pictures. But I said to myself, I don't look the same. I don't feel the same. Maybe I'm not me right now. I'm not me. I was even thinking differently. Too clear. Too good. I was thinking too quick. I had too much energy. And this was without smoking any weed. That was only my second day without any weed in my system, because I went 6 days without it. And this was the full second day. So then I go, oh, it's because I'm not smoking. I got too much energy. My eyes are wider. It makes sense. No. So then I was telling them, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not in me anymore. Maybe the other me is me. And I go, you know when the sickness started, Mike? I go, it started when I used the fucking Ouija board. When I tried contacting the devil 100 times. And then I never said goodbye. As I tell him and say the word Ouija board, there was a loud crack that sounded like the Ouija board was being ripped apart. He heard it over the phone. Because I said, you remember the Ouija? And as I said Ouija, I jumped. I go, oh my God. It was so loud. He heard it. I couldn't believe it. I still have the Ouija board. It overlooks the entire living room and eating area. What do? Get rid of it? I love that Ouija board. I'll never get rid of it. It's mine. You hear me? Mine. But I think I'm in another me. I think I'm not having a Mandela effect. I think this isn't me. I don't think I'm me. This is one of me. This is the other me. Want to talk about crazy? My shows have been different. I've been really aggressive. I'm never aggressive, but I have too much energy. So maybe that's why I'm too aggressive. I don't know, man. I feel really different. And when something tells you, I'll be in your head, I'm going to be in your head before you wake up, and then you realize it's you telling you, I'm going to be in your head before you wake up. Don't even worry about it. You would be weird about that too. Here I am 20 years later, and I'm still talking about it. I'll never understand those 3 days. Well, the 2 days, but that week. Never understand why. I'll be in your head before you wake up. I do the voice. I realize it's me. So what was I doing there? This is why I don't. Like when we die, we're supposed to live on as the energy beings that we are, which is our soul, right? So what are demons? Souls that never made it. They were bad. But now everybody's sins are forgiven. You go to heaven. Everybody's going to heaven unless you murder, maim, kill, you know? You know all that shit? So what's all the negativity about? Why do we have this good and bad? It's always got to be that way. Because of greed. And greed makes people do dirty things. Things like murder. Right? Those people go to hell. You cut somebody's life experience short. So if somebody's supposed to live to 80, you murder them at 20, those 60 years are now a disruption to the uniformity that is life on this planet and the way things are supposed to work. So that's why it's such a strict penalty. That's why you go to hell. Who's going to make up those 60 hours that the brain, the all-seeing, all-knowing needs that information? Somebody's got to make it up. But somewhere along the line, too many people are here. Too many souls have nowhere to go, wandering around. They want to go, but they're not trusting anymore. They had no faith when they were here on the planet. Maybe they didn't murder anybody, but they were assholes. So they have to go through that relive your life process. You have to be judged. And they run away from the judgment, just like they ran away from all. Why would you? That's not how it works when you die. I know. I've seen the other side. I've been there. You know the stories. I think I died in one of those dreams I've had of a heart attack in my bed in my sleep. And when you die, and I've talked to people who have had near-death experiences, they've all said the same thing. Not everybody, but 99%. Soon as you're dead and you go to the other side, I had a chance to look back and see my wife at the time and my dog at the time laying in bed asleep. And I said, I know I'm supposed to love them, but I don't care. That's so weird. I couldn't get that out of my mind. I'm like, wow, I have no memory of what they are to me. Everything just was gone. All my feelings. I didn't even care. I was okay. I didn't have a life review because I wasn't dead. I may have died. I may have had a heart attack. I may have come close. But that was when my hands went through and I saw the foggy light tunnel thing. And nobody was there. Nobody was greeting me. It was just the light and then gray and then the black floor. And then I turn around. My body flipped over. And I'm slowly going down. I go, no. Just like that. I didn't want to go back. Here. And soon as I'm about 6 inches from me, fucking you go, you do. I got slammed into it. And I remember waking up, twitching like that. So it was like I landed in my body, but I was really twitching on the outside. But I think I had a near-death experience. And at the time I had that was a time when I didn't want to live. I really wanted to die. And for the short time that I had that experience alone, it was almost as if I felt other people's emotions. Like, your life matters to these people, I didn't know who it was, but I felt some sort of, oh, maybe I shouldn't. I went back. That was my experience. I don't know what it was. Near death, dream. I never had that one again. I don't know if we're living in a reality that we can't explain, but it is strange. And we've got a lot of anomalies we can't account for. Why do we see apparitions? Why would they remain? You know? Is it residual? Is it energy? Why is it imprinted, copied, somehow immortalized into this reality? Maybe all of the realities. For some reason or another. We don't know. It's amazing. So I don't know if I'm me right now. But this is all I got to offer. Till next time. We'll be back tomorrow with Jeff Willis. We're going to have a fun time. And that should be fun right at 7 o'clock. So thank you, moderators, super chatters, newcomers, and veterans for hanging out here at Goof On. Sometimes we get a little deep, or what we perceive as deep talk, just to keep us talking. Hey, as long as we're talking. All right. And hey, if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out. For ufology. Alien bless. I hope this is the right button.
There's a good thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies of Wales? And why did it downward its treasured sites in Christianity? There's a new something proof for UFO.